YouTube. I am Pinstar, and this is This War of Mine, Strategy and Tactics, Episode 2. So when we last left our intrepid survivors, our star player, Katia, was doing a bartering battle with Franco. Franco has brought some very, very nice things for us to grab, rather barter for. So yes, in our last episode I was making the point that the reason why Katia is such a strong member of the team is because that she brings the price of basic food down to it's quite common being honest. And that's for fruit and vegetables. That does not seem to apply to canned food, which remains at it would cost you, which is what it would the basic food would be if we were trading with someone other than Katia. So we're going to make use of that by making sure we grab the food and the veggies. Even if you don't need it now, grab them now, because the more food you can stockpile, the more flexibility you have in terms of what you're doing. Okay, so now going down here, food, basic food is priority number 1. Priority number 2, boards. And with a very, very close second being components, at least at this stage of the game. One of the problems with the boards is they only stack into piles of 2. That's not a problem here, because he brought them all somehow. He must have a gigantic backpack to us. He brought them all to us, so we can buy any number of them. You can only buy so many at a time, but you can do as many deals as you want. So in terms of liquidating your stuff here, jewelry, yep, we nothing to do with jewelry but to trade it. So we're gonna drop that off. Yeah, he's gonna want more, but we got more, don't worry. Now, this is where not using your meds, not using your bandages, it comes into play here. Because if we look on these, exactly what I need, I can give you a lot for this. For both the normal meds and that, and then even the herbal meds are pretty high up there, but not as high as these two. So dropping just a single one of these is that. Now he says, fine, we have a deal. Well, if you go straight to fine, we have a deal, there might be more that you can get out of him. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to drop this out and replace it with something more valuable. Alright, it won't do. Try harder. And these are, it's quite common, being honest. So see, we replaced 2 of the you can have it for almost nothing with the quite commons and still doing that. Alternatively, what we could do is drop one of these 2 out. Won't do. Try harder. And then start dropping some of these. See there, this gives you a little bit more fine control to find exactly the right mark of what he's willing to trade for. So we're getting the maximum value out of this deal. And yes, we do want more. We so much want more. Alright, so we're going to go these last remaining 2 boards. We want all these components, because these components are key as well. The boards are more valuable just because of the potential space savings for them. And also it gives us some much needed fuel. Still kicking myself that I burned that one book, forgetting that this guy comes on the 3rd day. So what of ours are we going to trade for that? Again, we're going to reach into our medicine cabinet. We're not going to get rid of I don't like getting rid of the last unit of medicine of each category, just in case you need it. But yeah, we got our other ring. Oh, very generous of you. No, we don't want to be very generous. We are not here to be very generous. We are here to... There we go. See, just 2 more little doodads, and he's willing to drop all of this for that. Deal. And I think we can do one more round of usefuls here. Alright, so I'm looking at these parts. These parts are very, very handy. So having those, I mean, they are considered quite common rather than can have for next to nothing. So he's going to be a little bit more picky about what he lets go. Won't do try harder. That's what I figured. One thing. You might be tempted to sell some of these electrical parts because they are a tier 2. Nothing special, but not bad either. Don't save them. You need them later. So even though they're not useful right now, save them. Save them. Herbs, we can always get more herbs. So let's see how many extra herbs he wants for just those things. Oop, fine, we have a deal. Alright, yeah. Nope, won't do. He wants one more. He wants one more herb. Alright, so that's not too bad. I'm going to save the rest of my herbs for use. Again, not immediately useful, but useful later on. And yeah, we'll make this deal. And I don't think there's other things. I mean, I'd like the ammo, I'd like the filter, I'd like the weapon parts, but they're not hypercritical. And we're running out of good trading fodder. So we're just going to make this deal and bid him adieu. And get back to bed, Katia. Never enough food and medication. Actually, Katia, wait, before you go back to bed, sorry, girl. Get yourself fed. You too, Pavel. Katia, get back up here. Bruno, I know you're slightly sick. Alright, Pavel's just tired. Katia, yeah, you get yourself back in there. Okay, good. Alright, Bruno, I know you're slightly sick, but you need to get up there to work on that. Katia, get back to bed. My goal is to have both of them considered rested before the end of the day phase. Okay, the next item that we're going to want to get here is this rainwater collector. The reason I like getting this early, we're not hurting for water now, but we will be if we don't get this soon. And this thing has sort of a time. This thing takes a while to cook, and so the sooner you have it, the more cycles you have. It basically converts 3 components by way of a filter into 4 units of rainwater. And that's going to be useful for us all around. So the sooner we start our rainwater engine going, the better. So we're going to go ahead and make that component. And like I said, because it's right next to where we make the filters, we're going to put it right here. Katia, you get yourself back to bed. Now everyone's been fed. Like I said, it's day 3, and this is the first time everyone's eaten. And they'll be good so tomorrow, no one's eaten. I know I have plenty of food to feed everyone tomorrow, but they're not eating. Ah, there we go. And so once Bruno finishes this thing, you can go back to bed, Bruno. Good. And Pavel can go and make us a filter and then go start that thing off. Actually, we're going to make a couple filters. Yeah, we'll make 3 filters because we're not going to get a full cycle in the rest of this day. So just starting a cycle off before the day ends will be good enough. And then having the filters in stockpile will allow us to start cycles more quickly. See there, Katia's got her rest on. So these 2 are good, which is exactly what I wanted. Well, Katia, while he's making that 3rd one, why don't you run and start installing the first filter? Might as well be useful in tandem. Yeah, it only takes half an hour to install, but it takes 4 hours for it to yield water. But that being said, if we do it now, if you do it like right before the end of the day, then it'll count down that and the water will be ready for you come tomorrow. And if you're diligent about it, you can get 2 cycles in a single day and then start a 3rd one if you're really, really diligent about it. So you can get a lot of use out of this, but like I said, the sooner you get it, the better. All right, I think we've got enough here, so I think we're going to end our day. All right, now in terms of our, I think we're going to make one more trip to the Shelled College. Oh, I keep saying that. Cottage before looking elsewhere. Bruno's still staying in bed. His brand new cold that he caught needs to be slept off. We don't want to waste any meds on him. Katia is going to be our scavenger, and Pavel is going to be our guard. Because, yeah, again, always want to have at least one guard. And we're leaving all of our equipment at home, so it's considered to have weapons, enough weapons for everybody back at the base in case we get raided. So we're about as prepared as we can be at this stage of the game. Yeah, not taking anything because you've got more than enough in that little pile to do. All right, this will be another quick night here. All right, so yeah, all right. What I want to take. Yeah, I want to get these weapon parts because we need to make us a knife. And making a knife is, well, you need that to make a knife. Getting a stack of books will be good, especially since I burned one of them. These components, a full stack of components. Yeah, at this point, we're just looking for full stacks of stuff here. Now, all this sugar. Look at all this. Now look at all this sugar. That is useful for moonshine, and moonshine is useful for trading. Now, moonshine uses a lot of water, but that's precisely why I prioritize getting our moonshine, or our moonshine collector, our water collector. I wish it was raining moonshine. But then again, it probably wouldn't be quite as valuable of a trade good if it was. Anyway, we want the sugar. We want the sugar. All this lovely sugar. 3 fat stacks of sugar. Getting a full stack of the electrical parts will be good. Again, not immediately useful, but still good nonetheless. Now looking up here, full thing of fertilizer would be good. Again, not immediately. Well, actually, since there's going to be enough to make a return trip here, we don't need to grab stuff that's not immediately useful. So actually, we can leave the electrical parts here. I do want to keep the books in place. But I think we're going to make the remaining a mixture of lumber and components, because those are all going to be immediately useful. Yeah, this is all good stuff. So yeah, all right, we got our loot. Run to the exit. So in that case, I might make another night back here. You can really milk this one location, although I mean we've already grabbed the food, so. If you're trying to feed everybody every single day, you're going to quickly find yourself out of food. So it's important to ration. It's also important to remember which day you fed people and which day you didn't, because you don't want to go 3 days without food. That's when you start getting some nasty. All right, we got our raid. Let's see how we did. And Bruno's wounded. Thankfully, we were all armed. See, we had the shovel and we had the crowbar, and there were 2 people, so we were considered 100% armed. Unfortunately, Bruno got wounded, but they didn't grab any of our stuff. And since Bruno's going to be, well, he got over his cold, and now he's recovering from his wound. Bruno, you're having a rough day, aren't you? All right, Pavel, get your butt into bed. Bruno, you were rested, so you're going to get up just so Katia can get a snooze. You can get back to recovering afterwards. In the meantime, Bruno, let's install another filter, because we need more rainwater. That rainwater filter from before finished, so we got to install another one. You got to really keep on top of this if you really want to get yourself keep the water flowing, which, because we're going to be starting up a moonshine operation, is important to us. Speaking of, can't make the moonshine without a moonshine still, and luckily you don't have to upgrade this to do that, so let's make ourselves a moonshine still, because we want to have plenty of booze ready for the trader next time he comes. Because that way we can turn all that lovely moonshine into lovely, useful everything else, including food. So this moonshine's still good to have up and running early. And again, especially with Katia, because she can really make that trading power work for us. All right, Mr. Bruno. Let's see. We've got, and again, it's also, just as it is important to have him cook food, he uses less materials in the process of moonshine. Now, we can make a lot of freaking moonshine here. Look at this. Yeah, we can make a whole metric F ton of moonshine. It's really limited just by how much fuel we have. I really wish the guy would have brought some fuel to trade for, but we'll live. But in the meantime, let's burn some wood to make our fuel. We're going to burn... Actually, before we start burning fuel, why don't we make our... let me see what else there is to make, just so we can use up whatever components we need for that. Ah, yes, we need to make our radio. Oh, yeah, I'm glad we didn't burn the components, because having a radio on the lot helps with morale. And we can't make any more filters, but we have another filter to use, so we can keep our water flowing. Radio doesn't really matter where you place it, as far as I know. So, you know what? We're going to stick it, we'll stick it up front here. Good to have that going. Then we'll go down and get the moonshine flowing. Someone's at the door. Ah, someone needs help. So when someone needs help, I like to turn to Pavel. He's sort of our utility infielder here. Because I don't want to leave Bruno, because we need his skills, and I want Katia on board for scavenging and just make available for trade. Yeah, keep working on that, dude. All right, what do we got here? Help, my brother is wounded. Help me carry him home. All right, well, you know what? In this particular case, just because it gives good vibes all around, we're going to go ahead and say yes, we're going to help him out. So off you go, Pavel. Sorry you didn't get your full thing of sleep in. All right, Bruno is finished with the radio. Let's check it out. Yes, our colleague was shot. Let's sweep through here. Cool outside, clouds. All right, so it's going to cool down a little bit. Not that we're not equipped to do that. Military secure the area, denies reporters access. Yeah, the military's being dicks. All right, and then I don't know if this actually helps the morale, but leaving it on classical music changes your game music, and I don't know if that spreads around good moods. But you know what? Can't hurt. All right, so Bruno, we're going to be making ourselves some fuel here. Let's, yeah, we're gonna get a lot of fuel here. Yeah, we'll get 7 things of fuel. I know you could do with some bandages, but you got work to do. As soon as that filter finishes, I will have you replace the filter and get it cooking again. And yeah, you can just interrupt them halfway through an action, and it'll just pause where it is. Because that just takes up a half an hour of your time to cook, and then another 4-hour cooldown. I don't have the little parts to make more filters, so if it finishes its cooldown later, won't be able to key it off again. But you know, at this point, we're going to have enough water for the day. We'll certainly be bringing home more parts. And hopefully the guy will bring fuel next time, because I like trading for fuel. Cause I'd rather not trade for the wood for it, or burn any of the components. So yeah. All right, so we got ourselves 7 things of fuel. All right, Bruno, let's make us some moonshine. Oh, you can only make 5 at a time. That's kind of funny. You can only make 5 moonshine at a time. I didn't know about that limit before, but it's like the filter where it's half an hour of work to make and then there's a cooldown. So we'll make our 5 units of moonshine. And heck, we'll have our 2 fuel for food tomorrow. All right, and then get you back in bed. Katia, you... All right, yeah. All right, so she's happy that we helped the neighbor out. Let's take a look at our supplies here. So we are low on logs or lumber and component parts, but we are not low on food, and we've got enough fuel, and we've got some trading fodder. So we're in a pretty good place right now. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end our day. All right, so we are down a person, so we can't have Bruno sleep because we don't want him to be the only one left there. So we're gonna have him guard, and Katia scavenge. Never miss a night to scavenge, even though it seems like, oh well, we'll just have them, have her guard. No, 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 we're not. You do not want to ever hit that stay button unless you're really in bad shape. All right, so we're just going to grab another round of here because we got enough food, so we're in a good place right now. So we'll go back here to the Shelled College. Actually, since we only have one person guarding at home, we could go somewhere and take something to sort of start popping open some of the others. Could go to the Decrepit Squat. It's got lots of materials. Actually, why don't we go to the Decrepit Squat? Yeah, we can go to the... No. Nah, we're just going to go to the Shell. No. I'm being indecisive. I apologize. No, in this case, because... No, we're just going to make more of it later. All right, you know what? All right. Sorry about that. We're going to go to the Shelled College. College. I keep saying that. Cottage. Cottage. Because we've got enough to make a full haul back. All right, so let's see what we want here. Well, we certainly want the boards. This is going to be another lumber haul here. I do want to grab that full stack of fertilizer because that's going to be useful later on. I might grab the cigarettes for Bruno, but they're the crappy kind. I could grab the good cigarettes, but I don't want him to use the good ones. I want to trade the good ones. So if I did that, I would grab both of those. But in this case, I want to, we want to grab more of the materials here. The bullets aren't useful because I don't have a gun yet. And they're surprisingly not good trade goods either. So we're going to grab all these wood. I'm going to grab... Might as well grab the remaining components. Just so I know that I've exhausted the components. Besides, we're going to be using that to make filters soon. I'm going to... Yeah, let's just grab the wood, just so we can maximize what we can make. We can basically do one more run here and grab all the really good stuff to sort of finish off this lot. It does not make sense to come back here for like the dregs, but we got one more night's worth of salvaging here that would be somewhat worthwhile. All right, we're done. Run to the exit. And if I remember correctly, today is the night that people will be needing to eat. Yeah, odd numbered days is when people eat. All right, we got Pavel back from his helping the neighbors. All right, Pavel returned and no raids, so huzzah. Now, Pavel, because he didn't get a chance to fully rest, is now very tired. So he needs to get in bed and stay in bed for quite a while. Bruno, I know you are tired, but you are going to be, well, actually, first, get us up here, Bruno, and get cooking. Katia, you need to make us some filters, girl. And Bruno, we already have the fuel. So, why don't you... Actually, why don't you start with the single, eat it yourself, and then start with the double so you can get back into bed. All right, Katia is going to make us some filters. Now, 16. Well, I'm going to make 2. All right, Bruno, eat that. That'll do for now, and then make a double. Again, using our one thing of vegetable that we have. Always use the vegetables to make a double when possible, because it actually saves you on fuel. We used 1 fuel to make 2 units of food, in addition to only using 1 unit of food and 1 unit of vegetable. But you need to have the vegetables to make that work for you. Okay, so slightly wounded, tired. This is going to be a tough one. So we're going to get you down there, and Katia, go ahead and prime that pump. There we go. And might as well harvest the 5 moonshine since we're going to be done with that. I do hope somebody finishes their sleep in time to get somebody else in bed, because we got some tired peeps here. Not a bad day. Oh yes, you're hungry, so go ahead and grab that. Yeah, now we have 5 alcohol. You can have your people drink it, but you don't want to unless they're horribly depressed on the verge of committing suicide. Best to trade the moonshine. Okay. Yeah, just because he's tired and wounded, I'm going to let him get the priority for the sleep. I am going to have Pavel. Yes, he's down from very tired to just regular tired. I'm just going to need to make sure he finishes eating, or he eats that before he gets that. Yeah, I know you should sleep off last night. That's the one downside to not having 3 beds, but having 3 beds would be a little excessive. Speaking of, let me just take a look at my upgrade costs, because the next thing we're going to be shooting for is going to be upgrading our workbench here. So what do we need? We need more components. We've got the wood. We've got that. All right. Actually, what I'm going to have you do, Katia, is make us some more fuel, because we got the... yeah, no, none of that. We're going to use the log, the wood. Yeah, we'll make 4 more fuel. I'm not going to have you brew the thing because we want Bruno to do that, but we want Bruno to finish being tired, or get over being tired before you do that. But might as well have Katia keep herself busy. And our water's almost done. So Katia can install the next water filter, keep the water pumping. Alright, Pavel's still tired. Bruno, alright, you are slightly wounded, but otherwise good, so that means you can get up and go make us some more moonshine, and Katia can get your butt to bed. Let's see. Yeah, we only have enough water to make 2 of them, because we used up some water for the cooking process, but we got plenty more sugar. Look at all that sugar we got here. So yeah, it's still worth it to make it, just because of all the excess trading we can do. Alright, so Katia's snoozing. Bruno is making... Yeah, I know you're bleeding, but just a little. Just a flesh wound. Pavel needs to finish sleeping here. I do know... There we go. That's what I'm like it. So you get up there and eat Pavel, and that way Bruno can get back in bed to start resting off that wound. We need food. Oh, Red Pavel needs food badly. There we go. Alright, so Pavel is in ship shape. So yeah, very hungry, bad thing to get to. Very tired, that's something you can recover from in just a single day. So I don't mind it. I don't want to keep them at very tired for any length of time. But just having them hit very tired is not the end of the world if you need it. So yeah. Alright, so actually I think that's it for the day. So let's end it. Alright, we can do one more round at the shelled cottage. That's not too bad. Actually, we might as well do that. So you're going to sleep, Bruno. Pavel is going to guard, and Katia is going to scavenge, just as normal. And that way, that should knock out Bruno's wound. So he should be back to being good. Huge amounts of weapons, some parts. But yeah, we're still good. And we can still get a good full backpack. But this is pretty much going to be our last trip to the Shelled Cottage. We need to branch off after that. But might as well milk what we can. Alright, so we can grab the remaining boards here. Grab these electrical parts because we want to make sure we have them. Those two components are worth the inventory thing. Get the smokes, get the coffee beans, get the smokes. Get these shell casings, get the weapons. The book might be worth it. What might be? Homegrown tobacco is not bad. The quality roll-up might not be bad. Actually, that's just one smoke. That's not really worth it. The book is worth it because those only stack in lots of 2. I'd actually say the herbs are probably the most worthwhile thing to bring. And yeah, these other things are just going to be left to rot. Actually, no, not the herbs. The fertilizer, because later on in the game that can turn into food. So the fertilizer is going to be more worthwhile. So the rest of this, yeah, we're basically not going to come back for it. But no big loss. We'll live. All right, off we go. And I have an idea of what I'm going to be doing for our next one, but you're going to have to find out in the next episode. So, if you like this episode and want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback is always welcome. So in the next episode, we'll find out what happened with this raid. But until next time, this has been Pinstar, signing out. See ya!